Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Love Storyteller Tarot. My name is Jeanette and this is going to be the new moon reading, 31st of July 2019 in the archetype of Leo. So you may have seen the Mercury retrograde one, because this new moon obviously finishes on the Mercury retrograde last day, as in retrograding. It stations then to move forward, but sort of got the 2 week after period as to integrating, you know, what that lesson is for you in particular, or your partner, etc. So the new moon, after, you know, we're getting now into the eclipses and they're building up, and then we've got this new moon, so it's like a new beginning, but like a new cycle, you know. It's like day, isn't it? Every day is a new cycle. You wake up, and then it's the afternoon, and then it's the evening, and then it's death. So it's birth, you live in between, and then the night is like a death of that day. And then these moon cycles, the new moon and the full moon cycles, are like that. You're going through mini changes, but obviously the eclipse season is different. That's like major shifts on a collective, even if, you know, you don't feel it in your own life. So so on the 31st, then Mercury will station to go retrograde, and then you get your 2 week shadow period. And sometimes it can be quite bumpy that time, actually worse sometimes. I'm certainly seeing it in my life, but it's all electrical. Like today, I had a text to say that the power went off, and then my car on my battery, I went into the garage to get them to look at it because something wasn't wrong, like the thermometer on the gauge to how fast I was going was zilch, it just wouldn't move. So, and they tested the battery and they said, well, it should be 14, but it's 18, so it's running too fast. So, you know, you've got to look at these things symbolically. So what, you know, what is that saying to me? I'm running on overdrive. Because a battery is about your life force energy of the car. The car is a representation of you. And you know, it's a vehicle. Your body is your vehicle, and the battery is the life force energy. So like I said in the other video, because I've done this one afterwards, so I just say, you know, sometimes, but I don't know what your comments are because I've already done this video, but I do thank you for the comments, and I do thank you for your love and support. And you can always email me, because some people don't like to put comments, etc., but you're welcome to email me. And sometimes I can reply and other times I can't, but I do read them all. I do read them all because I think there's always a message of importance there. So yeah, so this, you know, my car situation is a representation of me. So my progress moon is going into Aries now. And you know, the Aries is I am, it's the first sign of the zodiac, and you know, you've got to, like, maybe now over the next 3 months now, I will be focused on me. Sometimes you have to bring in the narcissistic energy, and you know, whereas that the Mercury retrograde cycles are all in water, and the first one was Pisces, and my last cycle was in Pisces, was all about compassion, having compassion for others and whatever. And then there's sometimes you've just got to, like, you've got to bring it back to yourself and do what you need to do and get the jobs done, etc. So so maybe the battery is saying that because it's higher than what it should be. I've still got to, like, sit with that and work with that, and see what's happening, because I know that one of the cards was about breathing. So you know, when you're in a rush, what do you want to do? And that that in the Mercury retrograde reading, that the corner here with the Knight on top of the King of Cups in reverse is like the energy he would need to get him back upright. Because you know, it's like I said, it's a controlling person and manipulative person, especially with the Devil card on there. But he needs to wake up and have a new concept, see things differently, have a new perception as to the situation that's, you know, he's creating. Or this could be your potential, if you're single, you're not even in a relationship, this could be your potential partner having to work crap out, you know. But what I say is, like I say in my book, is all the work that you've done on yourself is the gift you get to give another. Well, it's the same for that person. All the work that they end up doing on their selves, it's the gift they get to give to you, because you know, all the people that they've been with, whether it's few or a many or just, you know, one marriage, whatever it is, or long-term relationship, it doesn't matter. There would have been lessons there, and usually people think, well, I won't be doing that again, you know. So they do bring a gift to you as you bring a gift to them, with the lessons that you've learnt and how you can respond differently to situations. It's not about shame or blame or beating oneself up. They are lessons, and all to get you on the right path in meeting the right person. Because I do believe that there, you know, we do have missions, and they don't have to be grand missions as in changing the whole world, but it could be in your own little world where, you know, two people coming together makes a difference, and it's a ripple effect, and it's like in the pond, and it spreads out, and it does have an impact, because we're all here to be love, be loved, be love, and show love and kindness and respect. I think, you know, out of anything, if you can show kindness and respect to your partner and them to you, then that is a good foundation to build something on. And if that's missing, then, you know, sometimes you've got to do what's best for you. There should always be respect, love and kindness. But whilst I was shuffling these cards, this card jumped out, and it's the World card. So it feels like, because I asked, you know, as I always do, what are the most important messages that we need to know regarding love, or like our spiritual growth, psychological growth around this time. And it's the new moon, so it's new beginnings, and the world is something, you're completing something, we're completing something, collectively, individually, or your partner, or your potential partner, they are completing something, a chapter in their life, and because this is about union of hearts. This is very much a soulmate card, I see it, because it's like wholeness. You've literally gone through the whole set, the major arcanas, from the Fool to the World card. You know, you've gone through all of it. You've gone through each experience, because, you know, from the Fool of being naive and not, you know, childlike and not knowing, which we can do in our love lives. You know, you're just innocent. It's like Pollyanna, and being, you know, just out there, and then you start to have the experiences, and it's like, you know, you've been burnt, and it's like, oh, that hurt. Then you start to wake up to maybe not everybody's the way that you perceive them to be. I know that at one stage, you know, that I used to fall in love with people's potentials and not see people for who they were in the here and now, which is an illusion, and that's the only place you can work with, is in the here and now, who that person is now. And you know, that Leo energy, that fire energy, is extrovert energy. It's it's the limelight, you know, and it's like shining your light. So very much around this time, it will be like shining your light, and you can do that because it's a strength card. You can do that in a soft manner. We don't need to be, but I can feel that this Aries energy is in my system. I can hear it when I'm speaking to people, whether, like, I just had to ring somebody now and talk about a situation to do with rubbish and the collection of it, and then and I'm like, there is no way. And I could feel it in my system. I'm like, where else? Like the assertions coming out, and my Queen of Swords is coming back out. But hey ho, I'll have to learn to balance that. But yeah, so we're completing a cycle of some sort, and it's important, you know, a chapter of your life. But of course, ending one chapter, whatever that means for you, you know, we get different size books. You get little mini books, you get large, and then you get the really big thick books. So depending on what your chapter, your book is, on the story that's been told, and you know, your life experiences, as to you know, what the impact has been on you as a person. And you know, I know that one psychic said to me, you know, if spirit could wake you up with flowers, then they would do, but normally we have to have a 4x4, you know, which usually that would kneecapped and on our knees. Woo! What the hell's just bloody happened? And usually I think when we feel like the rug's been pulled underneath from our feet, it's like I think that's like we built something on an illusion, and then it's like, then, you know, like I gave the example of the couple in Love Island, you know, she just felt like the world, the rug had been pulled from underneath her feet, because it was an illusion, because we channeled that stuff through our own perception from our own wounds, etc. So, and then we'll have that perception through that. So, but after this comes the fall, so then you'd be starting a new adventure, a new journey. But this is like completing, being successful, feeling as though you've accomplished something. And of course, the world card can mean travel. You know, so this could be a very important time to travel. For some people, July is a very busy time in the summer to travel, and that could be connected to a love interest. So, you know, that's a possibility. But I think that's all I want. But it's seasonal, you know. This is very much a face of nature, and you know, it cycles, like I was saying before, and relationships are cyclical, and they go through their seasons. You know, sometimes they're like really smooth and really easy, and then other times they're like, what the hell just happened? And you know, that's the summer, you've got to work on it. And you do get back to the well, you should have your 3-month honeymoon period, and then the power struggles tend to come in, because that's when the illusions can be built up, is that 3-month honeymoon period. And then you get your power struggles, because reality tends to come back in, and it's like, well, I don't like this about this, and you start to see things, you're more grounded. And you know, and that's when it's whether you can work through that as to whether the relationship will survive, really. I don't think anything else. It's the universe card. The world card is the universe card. But let's put it back in just in case it wants to come back out again. What are the most important messages that we need to know for this new moon? July 31st, 2019. I can't remember if I thanked you for liking, sharing and subscribing and commenting, and but yes, so thank you. And I know my loyal subscribers and the ones that have been with me from day one, bless them. So and I appreciate you all. Oh, well, we've got the sun come out, so that is that Leo energy I was talking about. It's very much, you know, about shining your light, being bright, and you know, sometimes with some people we have to, it's like wearing sunscreen, isn't it? Some days, like, you know, you only need to put on oh my god, what is that on my ceiling? That's the only problem. I mean, the creatures that come out in this hot weather have been bit. Anyway, what was I saying? Gone right off track now, haven't I? Bear with me a minute. No, it's gone. That's my own fault. That's because I saw that up there. If I had a pause button on my thing, I'd be able to pause and go back, but I haven't. So anyway, it'll come back. It'll come back if it needs to. But yeah, this is all about you know, feeling positive and feeling as though, well, it's going to be successful. You know, it's very much the fame card, and Leo comes under that too, because it's about center stage. It's the energy is about center stage and shining your light. So fame can come under the sun card, very much so, and being successful in the public arena, that sort of thing. But this child is like the happy inner child. It's the child that's free, because there's no saddle. It's riding bareback. You know, the sun shining brightly. You've got your sunflowers there. So that's what I was saying, something about the summer. And oh well, it was gone now. But anyway, so yeah, so you get your sunflower seeds, which are very, very healthful. So when this card comes out, it could mean that you need to get away, because we did have the World card. Could be that you need to travel, you need to get away, you need to get out in the sun, that sort of thing. But it is also the clarity card. It, you know, it brings clarity. Oh, very positive energy. Well, so it's going to bring clarity around a new beginning. So maybe you've been sensing and feeling this energy, because this energy is like excitement. It's like feeling all bubbly and not being able to eat, sleep, that sort of thing, but not knowing what it's about. It's just like a great feeling of excitement, but not having the clarity about what it's about, because this is a new beginning. The Ace of Cups is a new beginning, and it's around the emotions, so it's around a feeling sort of situation, hence why this can show up with the Empress. It's definitely, you know, conception of a baby, or conception of something, but it can very much show when a baby is in the picture or not in the picture. It's like early stages, but not knowing that you are pregnant yet. So that would be like an example, because it's not the Two of Cups, which is, you know, you can see what it is, you can see what the excitement's about, but this is like a new beginning, a new feeling, and like it's your cup runneth over. It means like you feel joyful, because this card is all about joy, and the hummingbird is that, all about joy. So you feel joyful, you feel happy, about feeling either the first stages of falling in love, feeling in love. Let's have a look. Oh, well, this is very, very positive. And you know, that Leo energy can do that. It can bring that. So, and this is all about, you know, exchanging of gifts. And well, it's like a benefactor. It's somebody that has something to give to other people. It doesn't have to be just money, but it could be that if that's what you're needing, then in the future, which can be like from the 31st onwards, to the next cycle of the new moon, so maybe to that August new moon. Will it be August? Yeah, it probably will be, won't it? At the end of August, because the cycle's changed now, so they're changing over. So yeah, there's some form of benefactor. Now this is either, because this is children in this picture, so you would feel like you've just been given something, if it is anybody who's watching and it is to do with a pregnancy, maybe you'd find out then, because you've got a child here and you've got two children here, and you know that can be a baby in many shapes or forms. So you know, whether that's family of some kind, whether, you know, you'll be in the grandparent or the uncle or, you know, the aunt or friend or whatever, it doesn't matter. That could possibly say that. Or it could be that, you know, there's just this new feeling and you feel like this, you know, when it's what it's like when you feel like you're in love and you just, everything's happy, you just, you know, this is how you feel like the benefactor, because you're shining that light out to other people. So, oh, I wish I knew what I was going to say, and I just annoyed with myself that I blocked it off, but never mind. But yeah, so this is a gift of some kind of, you know, benefacting somebody else, or they are you in some shape or form. But in a relationship, it's a good card to have, because it's about giving and receiving, and it's like an exchange, or that's what you have to learn. But we have the King of Swords in reverse, and he's very much, so we just had the King of Cups in reverse, now we've got the King of Swords in reverse, which is the air sign, which is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Maybe a rising sign, doesn't have to be the sun sign, because sometimes the rising sign can be more, I think that's like your rising sign is your soul sign, and it's like what you're more about. I think maybe the sun sign is the personality, is the ego, and what you're learning about, and then obviously your moon is how you are emotionally. And upright, you know, he's a good advisor and somebody that, you know, a great business person, and you know, very clever, and speaks his truth, and somebody you would turn to for advice. But he would be a bit like the Emperor, more goal orientated than people orientated, so wouldn't be sensitive in that nature. But you know, people can complement that. But he is in reverse, so why is he in reverse under the sun? I think normally you'd have a sunny disposition. I think normally this person would have a sunny disposition, but they're not at the moment, or in the past, because you can read it as the past, or you can read it as it's all happening at the moment. But yeah, due to the High Priestess, she is at the heart of the matter, so she trumps all these other cards. Her deep knowingness, it's like, it can be like secrets, and because it's the unknown, she's about the unknown, but she's knowing, so she's she's more knowing about situations, very intuitive, and you know, and she does have this in the picture itself, so it's more powerful. And she has a cat there, you know, the black cat, which can represent magic, but it's about the feminine energy. The black is, you know, the yin and the yang. The black is the feminine, which is all about independence and feeling secure within oneself. And she also does, I think she has the tarot on some of them, or tarot, however you pronounce it, on the ones. So it's like psychic abilities, you know, perceptions, that's connected to the moon cycles, and it's a number 2, so it's about balance and partnership. But she is highly intuitive on the upright, and definitely with the Ace of Cups, because water is very psychic, and the ability for it to flow. She knows something about this situation. So it could be that you're sensing something yourself about your situation, or maybe somebody else's situation. I don't think I need those glasses on. Or she's sensing something about this person, and you know, in the reverse, that could be him thinking he can pull the wool over this high priestess's eyes, and there's no way, because if she trusts her own knowingness, she doesn't even need to challenge this person, because somebody, a King of Swords in reverse, isn't somebody you'd really want to challenge in that sense, because what their perception, because it's a sword, their perception about a situation, or about a situation from the past, is their perception. And in reverse, you know, you wouldn't really get anywhere, and you certainly wouldn't be changing their mind. So, but remember that Mercury retrograde is stationed to go forward, so things should become a bit clearer, either for him or for you, about this person, because she's at the heart of the matter. You know, this is what you've got to do. You've got to use this energy to read the situation, either for you or for somebody else, because she's at the heart of the matter. And that's 2 major arcanas, and that is, you are the benefactor in that sense, by being her. Oh, lovely. So the 4 of Wands, I say that, and then when I try and look at that, I can't see it properly. Now this is a celebration, you see. This is, the 4 is something solid, something grounded. This very much about, can mean any celebration. It depends what, you know, your situation is, but we are talking about love, we're talking about romance and our love lives, that sort of thing. So this can be like an engagement, and the, you know, the high priestess would know that, so that could be like a secret party or something like that, and it's supposed to be a surprise, but then she would know that what's happening, so it wouldn't be a great surprise in that sense. And there would be, you know, there would be somebody prepared to fund that in the future, whatever that is. So it could be anything. It could be an engagement, it can be you know, a baby shower, if we're talking that way. It can be a marriage, it can be a home, very much a home. So whatever that is, you're going to get support and you're going to get help. You just have to trust yourself regarding this situation, because remember, it's a new beginning. but the Six of Cups is in the past line, and it does represent the past. An upright is usually fond memories, it's nostalgia, it's thinking back about maybe what was, what could have been, that sort of thing. It doesn't necessarily, it can mean a person from your past, but it could be somebody like from your childhood, that obviously you might, which could be him. So if you know anybody from your past that symbolically represents him, then that's what it would be. But either he's usually got a good sense of you know, being positive and everything, but now he's not. But why isn't he? Because his head is pointing towards the Six of Cups. But this is somebody who works hard, works, you know, very industrious. He like very grounded and very plods along, but he's steadfast. He's steadfast and doesn't give up. You know, he or she, and the visor's up, so you would know who this person is, or this is who you need to be, because the Leo energy is fire. So you know, what do they say? Only fools rush in, which is that fire energy, and then you get burnt. But this one's a good one because, you know, the energy of this one is it takes the time, and that's why it's the earth one. It's the Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo energy. So I don't know if this is somebody from your way back past, but you would know it because the High Priestess is there. And this person can sometimes come across as a bit boring, but they are steadfast, they are loyal, but they're not like the Knight of Wands, which is about, has the energy and wants adventure, and hence it comes under new job, new movement, new home, that sort of thing. But this one isn't. No, it's like get your nose to the grindstone and work at something. So it could be that, you know, if you are a High Priestess, then that's what you need to do, because your psychic abilities in the here and now around this new moon, where you're needing to shine your light, then that's the focus you would need. You'd need the Knight of Pentacles to do that. So, and we've got the moon, so we've got 3 major arcanas right down, coming from the left to the right. Now this is Hecate, and the goddess Hecate, and she's all about, I don't think it's a crossroads as well. It is a crossroads in a way. That person here in the Mercury retrograde, the cross was on there, and it felt like there was a crossroads for that person, you know, to sort of wake up and see something differently. But this can be deception, but I see that more in reverse. Like in reverse, it would be self-deception, and you're living from an illusion. But upright, especially with the High Priestess upright, I see that as very intuitive around this time. It's not allowing anyone to pull the wool over your eyes, and maybe that's why he's in reverse, because you're just too strong. So, you know, whether masculine or feminine, it is a general reading. You're just too strong. It's like the fog, isn't it? But you've got the sun. This is like that. There isn't the. She's got light there, but there isn't the bright light of the sun, because you get 18, and so 17 is the star, 18 is the moon, and then 19 is the sun. like this can be, there's a fog, and you don't know where you are until the fog lifts, and that can be symbolic as to, because it can be secrets and deception and that sort of thing. But with the High Priestess there and the Sun there, no, I see that more positive, that's related to this moon cycle, especially with the Four of Wands there, and we've got the we do have the, that's how I did it, we do have the Empress in reverse, and I was talking about pregnancy. She is heavily pregnant in this picture, and that doesn't necessarily have to be like a physical baby, but it can be projects, you know, because she's all about home, and that Cancer energy is all around home and family and nurturing. It's very much, you know, if it was one word, it would be like nurturing, abundance. It's very much about nurturing, like a goddess again. So you've got another goddess here, but it is all about abundance, but it's in reverse. So why is she in reverse? And the other one that's in reverse is him. So I would take that as either there's a mother issue, because she comes very much under the Earth Mother, or a female influence that's negative, and this person, to do with this person. So whether there's an influence there as to why it's reversed, because they're thinking about the past, or they're living in the past, and they can't see clarity, they can't see things clearly. This could be the mother of his child or children, so it could come under an X, because it's the feminine, and there is an abundance there. There isn't nurturing there, so it could be this person, you know, had a mother, or has a mother that, you know, hasn't been nurturing in the past, and then that pattern's played out because it's the past. But that is upright, so there is fond memories. I mean, he's in between two cards that are, you know, positive, but that's what that's saying. But let's get some more cards out, go a little bit deeper. We got the tennis on here, so, but luckily, because I've been trying to find time to do these readings, because I do my furniture business as well, and so I'm painting and sanding and everything else in between whilst I'm watching the tennis. But luckily, all the British players played yesterday and everything, so I thought, right, I'll sit down and do this today. I don't know if I shuffled them or not. So we've got the coffin come back up. That was at the heart of the matter before, which was like that Mercury retrograde. That was two of cups, two of pentacles, which is all about balance and change, and she is a 2, and it's like it can be stagnant because it's death, like nothing's moving, you know. But it can also mean patience. You have to have patience. So it's on the Sun card. So what is that saying? Sometimes you have to have patience. When somebody's learning something, you have to have patience with them, because some people learn quicker than others, and you know, but if they're going at a slower pace, then you have to be the High Priestess and trust your own knowingness, trust your own intuition on things, even though if you can't see things happening around you, you know, because otherwise you'll lose hope as to what's happening. You know, you have the synchronistic meetings, and it's like, well, what, you know, what the heck is going on? Why does that keep happening? Why do I keep seeing that person, but nothing ever comes of it? What, you know, and you can lose hope. You've got to trust yourself and be the high priestess, because it feels like it's what's going on the outside, because she's at the heart of the matter. So it feels like it's what's going on in the environment on the outside, because we've got the 6 here, 6 of Cups here, the 6 of Coins here. So you've got water and earth, and which is a good combination of a benefactor giving something, something to do with your past, and sometimes you've just got to be patient. The Sun card's there, so it could suggest patience. Have a little patience. I really want to start over. I know you want to be my salvation, but you can't be people's salvation. Take that, but I'm sure you know. Take that. So the heart of the matter is this is to do with a heart situation, because this place is a social place. It's where in the olden days, you know, they couldn't meet each other in the houses. They had to go to the gardens, and you know, they'd give each other letters and poems and all that sort of thing. But there is a bridge in this picture. There's also water, a lot of greenery. So you know, it can mean on a practical level, like that could be like a park. So you know, if you get any inkling to go somewhere, then you've got to trust your intuition. If you're single and you know you've been putting your prayers out there to meet somebody, then you've got to trust that. You've got to go with it. This could be any sort of social place, but outside, as to where you could meet somebody around this time, because remember, the feeling of love, newness, is about. The energy's there. Let's say that. The energy's there. So it means the door, or as they call it, the porthole is open. It's whether you want to walk through it or not. Oh, there's some form of communication of love. So, because this is communication. Obviously, in the modern days time, I was talking about a letter, which would be the written hand letter. Now is emails or text messages, you know, that sort of thing. But it can be a contract, depending on the situation, and it can be an invitation. And with this card, it's very much could be an invitation. So maybe if you receive an invitation, go with it, trust it, because you won't be disappointed. There we go. And they're both purple, but you've got purple in the background here. And because it's in the background, it's more of a lighter hue, because you've got the light from the thing coming back. But this is purple, so it's very spiritual. And of course, this card is very spiritual. So these are definitely connected. So there's going to be some sort of news. Something that maybe had been delayed, that, you know, had something that maybe had a bright future, something that's been delayed. Well, there's gonna be news, and your patience will be rewarded because of the heart. It's, you know, to do with romance, to do with love. So you're going to be receiving some sort of message, but it's something in its early stages, because it's the Ace of Cups. So, and that's on the benefactor. So it's like you're going to be blessed, you're going to be given. Now on him, it's to do with the child. So whatever I was saying here, we've got the child here. So, and that can be, you know, when I see, for me personally, we all read cards differently. They have a certain meaning, but you know, if you let your own guides tell you what this means to you, and then let them bring the situation where these cards show up, then it's different stories. So in that, it could be that somebody, because it's about nurturing, whatever, it could be that somebody can't have a baby or has lost a baby or something like that, but it's definitely to do with children, because to do with him, because you've got the child here and you've got the children here, and now you've got the child on there. There's something to do with children around this person, definitely. Oh, well, this is we got purple again. This is a very strong, rock solid relationship, partnership, but it is in the future. And time wise, I'm sorry, but I can't put time on things. It could be that the cycle from the new moon to the next new moon, something might happen, but this is something really important, you know, so don't dismiss it, is what it's saying. This is something really important, and it can be something rock solid. But you've got the 6 of coins there, which is very positive, and this is on like a home or engagement, a wedding. So whatever this relationship is, then that's something rock solid. That's something, a good relationship. And there's definitely healing, because this was on, what one was on that corner? Oh, I can't remember, but it was in the corner of the Mercury retrograde one. So this is about healing, you see, healing the past, for him, or if you know, he's a part of your life, then this can be a hospital. This can be a hospital, those two together, to do with children or something from the past, to do with the heart, because you've got children in this one as well. So children really seem to be, especially with the Empress there. Yeah, and this is about building a foundation. This, you know, you could be, because we said the World card about visiting someone, so, you know, about travelling, that's, you know, the more down to earth viewpoint of it, and you've got the mountain here, so it could be going somewhere, but this is like a home that has a really nice garden. So it could be you meeting somebody, you're invited to somebody's home who has a lovely garden, and you meet them there. This can be property. That could be property to do with the past, or to do with something to do with children. But we do have the only one negative-y sort of thing, which the mouse is more about negotiations, having to, because somebody's nibbling, like is trying to destroy something. You know, they nibble at things, and you know, they ruin things, they ruin furniture, things like that, don't they? Because they nibble away at things. So and it's on the Moon card. Maybe your intuition, and you've got to be strong because of the High Priestess in the thing. But yeah, maybe somebody jealous, like I said. I don't know if I said that in the other one. What's at the bottom? But the key to success is her being in reverse. That don't make sense to me. What are you trying to say to me? Well, the rabbit's there, so it's like, which is the Seven of Pentacles in the normal tarot, which is like, you know, freeze. Sometimes you have to, the rabbits freeze, but they're not freezing out of fear. They're freezing because they're very intelligent and they know that the predators don't go for whether it's a rabbit or a squirrel. They go for movement, so they freeze, so they don't move, so they protect themselves. But the rabbit is like, if you don't know what to do, then don't do anything, and then like within the 28 days, like your full moon cycle, you will then know what to do, because something, your high priestess would know what to do. You'd figure it out about something, because that's the key to success. Maybe not nurturing something, maybe not having abundance at this time is a good thing, not a negative thing, because it's there in the future, maybe because it's here in the future. So, but that is, you know, success. How are we doing? Let's get some cards out on this. Maybe it will give us some more. Normally I go for the heart of the matter. I don't know if that's going to tell us any more, but let's have a look. The Empress and the Key. So, like, I know it sounds awful, but maybe not getting pregnant would be a good thing. And that would be hard, you know, because you can't see something, because the moon, because we've got the mouse on there, it could be somebody trying to cause problems. It could be something like that, but let's get a few cards out, because children seem to be playing a big part in this reading. Yeah, see, the High Priestess is in reverse on her. So this, like I said, this is somebody would be causing problems. It's definitely a High Priestess in reverse. It's like, or not fulfilling their potential. Not fulfilling their potential, this is, because it's like an initiation. And hence why, if you're not fulfilling your potential, then you wouldn't have abundance. You know, it would be in reverse. Oh sugar, how is that coming out like that? Because it's all around the Temperance card, which is about spiritual growth, especially next to the High Priestess. It's all about a win-win, which is why that's on there, because the key is like you need to unlock something, and she does have 3 keys here, and that can be you're not seeing something because the fog clearly, or somebody trying to pull the wool over your eyes, that sort of thing, which would lead to him because he's in reverse, and that's why it would be the key. But it's about creating a win-win situation, but that's like not following your intuition, not following your potential, no, because the Eight of Swords is all about seeing something, but obviously not wanting to see something, because the Eight of Swords is like feeling trapped. Well, all you've got to do is this: you've got to tune into her, because she is what's at the heart of the matter. To around this time, because this is like self-imposed prison, because this is the Alchemist. This card is all about alchemy, transforming your fate into destiny, turning lemons into lemonade, and so she needs to be upright to receive the abundance, which this card is all about abundance, which is connected to love. Let's see what the romance angels want to say regarding this new moon in Leo. Okay, it's about shining your light. The High Priestess is there. You know, you've got to be the leading lady or the leading man in your story, in your play. This isn't just a love reading, it's psychological and spiritual advice as well. But we've got the reconciliation card come back up. Someone from your past is returning, which we do have here, returning to your life, and it usually means because there's unfinished business. But let's have a look, see what it's saying as to how we can fit it in with this one. This card indicates that an ex-lover may be re-entering your life. The first person you think of is likely who it will be. The purpose of this reconciliation is to achieve healing and closure with respect to your past, so it's to do with this. You will understand more about yourself and see your relationship patterns more clearly. You'll also take responsibility for the role you played in the relationship's drama, which will free you from the tyranny of unforgiveness, which is that card really. Hence why you won't be fulfilling your potential. I think that Cancer Mercury retrograde thing was about forgiveness as well. Where have we got to? Free you from tyranny of unforgiveness. Reconciliations are ultimately about taking care of unfinished business. This card can also possibly mean making peace with a family member or a friend. Each relationship is a sacred learning experience, so be open to this reunion's lesson and blessings. Ultimately, all healings help your love life and every other part of your world. And the it was healing of family issues with that Cancerian one. So let's have a look, see what the Akashic Records Tarot wants to say. Right, we've got, don't know these cards great, so we've got the Three of Roses, but I think we had the One of Roses before, but again, look, you've got a cutie little baby there, and the elements of the fairies, etc. But it's the Three of Roses in protection, loving elements, so I'm going to read that as to how we can fit that in with the reading. I don't think you can do these with so in reverse, this card reverse reveals a serious split from the fun-loving child within, from your own spirit and from your union with the natural world. Well, you couldn't get any more natural than the Empress. Now that's why she's in reverse, and that's the split. So you need to go out in nature, possibly, to get the balance again, because of the win-win, so that this blindfold comes off. Oh, where are we? Oh, have I been reading the wrong one? No. What's happened there? I wasn't even... Oh, maybe I did I? No. No, I didn't. One moment. I did have it. I just don't know where it's gone. With the natural world, it's also a time when you seem to have lost your enthusiasm for life. Try not to take things too seriously. It's important to find a joyful purpose, something that truly makes your heart sing. Meditate more, High Priestess. Do the things that make you happy and open your heart to your own radiant self. So that's what that would be. Radiant self, and to the dancing happy beings who are only a breath away. So that's the advice from the Akashic Records, and let's have a look, see what Wisdom of the Oracle wants to say. New life. Well, that's what it's been about, is the new life. So there's definitely a new life coming, but obviously there's some things that need to be sorted out. You know, you're the only one that knows everything that goes on in your life. It could be that you need to see a psychic. She does come out when that, you know, you need to see a psychic. But the Oracle's message, we'll read it with relationship. New energy, which is what I was talking about there, the Ace of Cups, enters old relationships. Reconciliation, and new relationships are bursting with sweetness and vibrancy, only encountered when winter gives way to spring. And I was talking about the seasons with the World card. This is a time to connect with others and share excitement, passion, and hearts full of joy. This card is a very auspicious sign with respect to love and partnerships in all forms. So that is lovely, and let's see how the universe will have our back through this new moon. And that can mean new life, as in, because it's coming out of an egg, literally a baby, a pregnancy. So through prayer and meditation, I create a ripple effect of peace in the world. I don't know if it was this reading I started saying about a pebble and throwing it in and the ripple, or whether it was the Mercury retrograde one. So excuse me, but maybe watch that one as well. I don't know whether it was this one or that one. So there we go. I do hope those messages help you. Please like, share and subscribe. You'll give back to me. And I will be back here for the full moon after my holiday. Woo! So I'll see you then. And please comment, and if you need a reading, I will be away from the 12th to the 19th, so I won't be doing any readings there. But yeah, I'll speak to you soon. Okay, lots of love. Namaste.